I'm sorry, Sony FS5. It's not you, it's me. I'm going to have to let you go. Welcome back, everybody. Some of you might know that I purchased a Sony FS5 a while back, but as camera conspiracies probably would say, this camera is too much for a YouTube hobo as myself. This camera has a lot of it going for it, but it's mainly focused towards documentary filmers and people like that, and that's nowhere close to what I do. So it has a lot of features that I like, some things that I don't like. The thing I like most about this camera, and the main reason why I bought it, is the slow motion. It can shoot up to 960 frames per second in bursts, even though the quality isn't that good, but the 240 frames per second actually is pretty good, and that's what I've been using for some commercial like clips that I've been making, which I will show in the end of this video. Another thing that I really like that I don't need but it's nice is that it has XLR in, so I don't have to record the XLR into the computer and then sync it in post. Another thing is of course the variable electronic ND filter, which you adjust on this thing, which also it's nice but I don't need it. And the third thing that, besides all of these buttons here, which just makes the menus more accessible, is of course the huge batteries. Like, look at this beast right here, the BP U90. One of these can record for like infinite amounts of the batteries in my A6300, so if I charge this fully and put it in, I can go as long as I need to, and like 5 times that. Yeah, that's pretty nice, because that's the biggest problem for me, like the battery time on my A6300. Will have to swap the batteries all the time. Beside those things, there isn't all that much I really need from the FS5 for my type of videos, and there's actually 2 things I found that was worse than on my A6300, and that was the video quality, because the FS5 4K is not downsampled from 6K like on my A6300, which produced a really sharp image, and I found that it was a bit softer. I mean, it's still very usable, of course, but yeah, I like the sharper image on my A6300. Another thing I found was the autofocus was not nearly as good on the FS5. Like, autofocus isn't always a necessity, but for my type of videos I like to just put the camera on record, and I can know that the autofocus will find my face pretty good, so then I don't have to mess about with trying to find a good focus and then just stay in place. I think that's pretty much it, because like it has 10-bit but only in 1080p, and I don't really need 10-bit all that much. I do light color grades, so of course if you want to make something with bigger color grades and stuff like that, 10-bit is pretty useful from my understanding, but that hasn't really been an issue for me yet. Another thing I found is that my A6300 is a better low light camera, even though the FS5 of course got better dynamic range, but here in Sweden, like 75% of the year it's almost pitch black, so being able to crank that ISO up a bit without getting too much noise is pretty nice. That's my reason for parting with this camera now after, I think it's been like a month or almost 2 months, something like that. Yeah, I'm thinking about getting another camera, because I feel like it's nice to have 2 cameras in case I want to show something on one camera. I can just use the other one, so that's really nice. So I will be looking for another camera to replace this, but I'm really gonna miss the slow motion mainly. Like, that's been the big thing for me about this camera, and all of the other things is just like really nice topping on the cake, if that's the expression. I wanna thank you for watching this little video about my reasons for getting rid of this camera. If you have any experience with this, or if you have any tips for me getting another camera, please write them down in the comments. Because I'm thinking about the A7C. Maybe that or a used like A7 III, but the A7C seems like a really nice camera for my usage with the flip out screen and great autofocus and all of that stuff. So I think that's a pretty interesting camera for a YouTube hobo like myself. But yeah, please write down in the comments if you have any opinions on my next camera purchase. Thanks again for watching, and hit the like button if you like this video, subscribe if you wanna support my channel, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.